Okay, here's a strange one for you. What if, like, the secret key to feeling amazing, super focused, calm, maybe even younger, was simply not eating for 72 hours straight? Yeah, we're doing a deep dive today into prolonged fasting. 3 days, water only, no sneaky snacks. The big question is this some kind of, ultimate health hack?
Well, okay.
Or just really intense? Because the claims are pretty huge. People say it's maybe the best thing for your health. And weirdly, apparently by the end, you don't feel awful. You feel almost euphoric, like total bliss and mental clarity.
It does sound a bit out there, doesn't it? But the feeling, that high, it comes from something really deep inside your cells, something you don't quite get with just, say, skipping breakfast. We're talking about a genuine deep clean.
A deep clean. So not just tidying up, more like renovating the whole house.
Exactly. It's this process, it's called autophagy. Fancy word, means self-eating. Basically, when your body isn't getting food from outside, your cells start hunting down the internal junk. Damaged bits, old proteins, that sort of stuff. They break it down and recycle it, build fresh, new parts, and a 72-hour fast. That's like flipping the master switch for this whole process.
Huh. So your body literally thinks, well, no pizza today. Guess I'll eat that dodgy-looking cell component instead.
Pretty much. It's smart resource management. But, like you said, there's the physical side, and then there's the mental game, the willpower.
Oh, yeah. I mean, let's be honest, most of us act like toddlers if lunch is 5 minutes late, right? All hangry and demanding. Successfully fasting for 3 days feels like finally proving the adult is driving the car, not the screaming toddler in the backseat.
Absolutely, and that feeling of control, it's incredibly powerful. When you can consciously say no to food, even when you smell it or see it, that strengthens your willpower muscle for everything else too.
Yeah.
Sticking to goals, projects, fitness, whatever. It becomes about more than just food. Now let's connect that discipline to the really big health stuff, longevity.
Yeah.
Think about the biggest risk factor for major diseases, like cancer. It's simply getting older. Age means accumulated damage, inflammation,
Okay.
and fasting. It's described as probably the most potent anti-inflammatory thing you can do, period.
Right. And this is where it gets into that really bold claim about cancer prevention. How does that connection actually work? Is there like a magic moment?
Well, things really seem to ramp up around the 48-hour mark. Your body switches fuel sources, right, from sugar to fat. And it starts making ketones. But here's the critical bit. These fasting ketones aren't just fuel. See, cancer cells, they're greedy. They love sugar, amino acids, even some types of synthetic ketones you might take. But the specific ketones your body makes during a deep fast, apparently cancer cells aren't so good at using those. Meanwhile, those same ketones are amazing fuel for your brain, making you feel sharp, and they actually switch on genes linked to longer life.
Genes for long life. Okay, now you sound like you're selling something from a fantasy novel. What kind of genes?
Huh? No, it's real science. We're talking about pathways like sirtuins, FXO genes, stuff like that. When ketones are up and energy signals are low, these genes basically activate your body's repair and protect modes. They help clean up damage, reduce inflammation. And this ties into hormones, specifically insulin. Fasting tanks your insulin levels. Keeping insulin low is vital because it dials down another pathway, mTOR. Think of mTOR as the grow-multiply signal for cells. Cancer is uncontrolled growth, right? So by lowering insulin and suppressing mTOR, you shift the body into recycle and repair mode, not growth mode. It sort of starves out potential trouble.
Okay, so the logic behind saying a 72-hour fast each month could potentially prevent cancer is you're consistently hitting the brakes on growth signals, cutting inflammation, and forcing this big cellular cleanup.
That's the core idea, yeah. Consistent hormonal control and autophagy. And here's a really cool bonus, muscle preservation.
Wait, really? Usually if you don't eat, you lose muscle, don't you?
You'd think so, but during a prolonged fast, your body actually pumps out a lot more growth hormone, GH.
Why would it do that if it's starving? Seems backwards.
Survival. Your body needs you sharp and able to move to find food, right? So it burns fat like crazy for fuel, but the GH helps protect your muscle. It's like burn the stored fuel, but keep the engine intact. Pretty clever.
Okay, the science sounds amazing, but let's get real. Trying this cold turkey sounds like a recipe for misery. Day 2 is gonna hurt, right? We need the practical stuff, the fine print. How do you actually do this without wanting to curl up and cry? First up, prep work. You can't just stop eating after a pizza binge. Apparently you need to load up on healthy fats for a day or two beforehand. Avocados, olive oil, that kind of thing.
Yeah, that's really important. It helps ease your body into burning fat instead of sugar. Less of a shock to the system when the glucose runs out. And practicing intermittent fasting before you try a long one. Also a good idea, like doing 168 or maybe even one meal a day for a week. Get your body used to it gradually.
But the real killer, the thing that makes most people quit, is electrolytes, isn't it? Potassium, magnesium.
Oh, absolutely. That's the biggest mistake people make. When insulin drops, your kidneys let go of salts and other minerals. You flush them out. And that's what causes the keto flu. The headache, the fatigue, the brain fog, muscle cramps. Ugh.
Yeah.
It's not usually starvation making you feel bad. It's dehydration and missing minerals.
Which brings us to the slightly weird solution. You basically have to drink salt water, like 1 or 2 teaspoons of sea salt a day. Maybe with lemon to make it less gross. I even read people put salt in their coffee while fasting. Salty coffee. Is that the secret?
Haha, it sounds bizarre, but yes. Keeping your sodium, potassium, and magnesium levels up is critical. It won't break the fast, metabolically speaking, and it makes a huge difference in how you feel. You can't run the machine smoothly without those minerals. It's the lifeline.
Okay, so you power through 72 hours, fueled by salty coffee and willpower. You've made it. Now,
No.
how do you break the fast without causing a system crash?
Right, this is crucial. Massive mistake alert. Do not break it with anything sweet or heavy on carbs. Your digestive system has basically been asleep for 3 days. It's not producing all the enzymes needed for a big sugary meal.
So rewarding yourself with a donut is like waking up a hibernating bear by poking it with a stick.
Exactly. Bad idea. You get a huge insulin spike, feel awful, maybe get some serious digestive upset. It undoes the good work. You need to wake things up gently. Think small amounts of easy-to-digest protein. An egg is good. Bone broth is even better, super gentle, lots of nutrients. Or fermented veggies, like a little sauerkraut, gives you good bacteria. Then wait. Give it a few hours before you eat a more normal meal.
Okay, gentle wake-up call for the gut. Got it. Now, to really nail this down, there's some pretty wild stories out there, right? Anecdotes that show the power of this. Like the story about the guy who was in a really dark place. Depressed, suicidal thoughts. He apparently locked himself away, intending to starve himself. But then, around day 3, instead of feeling weaker, he felt amazing, happy, clear-headed, totally unexpected. So he goes online thinking, what is happening to me? And discovers the science of fasting. It literally shifted his entire mental state from the brink.
That's a powerful example of how those ketones can fuel the brain differently, potentially lifting mood and improving clarity. It highlights the neuroprotective effects.
And then there's that other one, the really extreme one. A group of people, including type 1 diabetics, who decided to run nearly a marathon 20 miles every day for 5 days, while fasting for those same 5 days. Zero food, just running like crazy.
It sounds absolutely impossible, doesn't it? But the kicker was the lack of soreness. They reported feeling surprisingly okay, not crippled by muscle pain, which you'd totally expect. The theory is the anti-inflammatory effects of the fast were just sky high. It allowed their bodies to handle that extreme stress and recover incredibly fast.
So running on empty somehow made them anti-inflammatory machines. Wild.
A fascinating case study, though definitely need to add a big disclaimer here.
Yeah.
Please, nobody try running marathons while fasting without serious medical guidance. But it does suggest that adding some gentle movement, like long walks during a fast, might boost the benefits, perhaps increasing oxygen and helping with that cancer risk reduction we talked about.
Right, sensible movement, not extreme endurance tests. Okay, final checks, the absolute do nots. Who should definitely not try this? Pregnant or breastfeeding women, right? That's definite no-go.
Absolutely non-negotiable. And there's one more specific group. People prone to gallstones. Fasting can sometimes cause bile to get thick and sludgy, which could trigger a gallbladder issue. There's this specific supplement, a bile salt called TUDCA, that can help prevent this by keeping bile thin. You take it twice a day during the fast. But if you have gallbladder issues, definitely talk to a doctor first. That's crucial.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah.
So, wrapping this up, we've covered a lot. Cellular recycling, autophagy, knocking down inflammation, maybe dodging cancer, keeping muscle, the weirdness of salty coffee.
And the feeling of euphoria.
And the euphoria. Don't forget the bliss.
But really, the core message underneath it all is about control, isn't it? It's about proving to yourself that you're in the driver's seat, not just reacting to your body's demands or the clock.
Yeah, reclaiming that control. So here's the final thought to chew on, or maybe not chew on. If taking control by not eating can lead to this kind of clarity, power, maybe even bliss, how much of our everyday grogginess or frustration is just tied to living by the schedule of our next meal or snack? Makes you think, doesn't it?
Yeah,